A different
How is
picnic.
everybody?
What's going on?
Great, man. This is amazing.
Awesome.
This is an all-star. I'm not talking about me, but I'm talking about all you guys, all-star people. This is amazing.
Dude, we got some beards and growth. I mean,
Oh yeah.
cryptographics. That's nice, dude. I see you, Steve.
Nice, man.
Mo. What's up, man? I see that little JV beard coming through, man.
Mine's a product of just sleeplessness. I think.
Oh, true. True, man.
Dude, how's it feel to be number one on ETH? 3 times, 4 times now?
Yeah, that does well. It's doing all right. Yeah.
He's like,
It's okay. It's okay.
okay.
Could be better.
No big deal.
Yeah.
It's crazy how hot it came out of the gate and just went straight to the top. Like I did not see that coming. You know, you can look at tokenomics and you can look at how a system's set up and you can think, yeah, this thing's going to do pretty well, but you can never predict the successful launches, you know, how Volt went. So like, just so cool to watch. And it's only just getting started, which is pretty wild to think about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. With the thing coming up, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's interesting to see how it runs to make up these tokenomics that you guys are doing, Morpheus team and you and all you guys, and just to see how it flies. It's just really interesting.
Mm-hmm. And wait till the Nexus comes out too, because I mean, you haven't even given them what we talked about. And once everyone gets the Nexus, that's huge. The Nexus is next level. It seems on surface like, like what are you doing here? You just kind of like rotating. But when you get it, oh, so awesome.
Yeah. What do you like about the Nexus? Like the Nexus.
I love the fact that it is basically forcing volume into different pools. And as it grows, the volume increases. And so you're going to have this participation incentive on many fronts. One, from liquidity providers. 2, it's free marketing because Etherscan Dex Screener is going to love it because the amount of volume that's going through this thing should just kick it way up. And 2, I mean, it's just going to be exciting just to see this because it's never done before. You know, I have no idea how it's going to, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on how something like this might work at all, like in terms of how people will play with the Nexus.
Great question. Liquidity providers will like it. And it's just going to be fun to see. I mean, what happens is it going to be enter some stasis where it doesn't really affect the price because everything's just flowing through it? I mean, it's interesting how it would even perform. Just be interesting just to see, especially when there's all 9 of them running at the same time, and then the wheel buying each of the coins and doing something.
Now with the Nexus too, is it so it's constantly essentially like once the Nexuses are all formed and they're all rotating, those are constantly building in the background, right?
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. It's just the buy and burns should be just increasing just gradually.
So what the hell happens when each of these Nexus has like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, and it's just rotating?
Yeah, I mean, could it get that? Because it does lose 40% every time it gets to the Viper. So it's not, but it's still, it's like every 5, like if 15% went in and then no more input went in, how long would that 15% last for? Every time round, it loses 40%. So it's not, it doesn't go. I don't even know if I don't know how it.
It'll be a slow growth for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was 40% loss actually, but still, it's a slow growth. Because if you're doing, let's say you start with like $1 million, it's got $1 million, dishes down to 600,000.
Yes.
Right. And then can you explain, okay, so it gets diluted by 40%. And then from there, what comes in the next day to refund it? Those funds, where do they come from? What's it likely to be versus the first day that funded it? Like if $1 million came in day 1, what would likely come in day 2 to refund that side of the Nexus?
Yeah, well, that's the perpetual auction. So it has the Vault perpetual auction that does whatever that's going to do. Because I mean, this one's just been going for 20 days. So that's, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But it has the perpetual auction. And yeah, that's how the funds enter the system. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, someone had a big comment here. They said, would it make sense to have a vault style protocol where users stake the token for a share of future auction revenue? One token equals one share. Any extra gets rolled into the next payout cycle.
Where's that comment? Not seeing that comment. I'm lost in the chat and I can't see that comment.
I can't find it either.
Yeah, I'm not following that.
Take the token for sharing a future auction revenue.
All right. Well, there's a big dead load of silence right there, as we all don't know what the hell he's talking about.
I'll just try to think.
We were talking about the pillars as you guys were coming on, and he was just talking about Farmer Abe. Do you
Farmer
want,
Abe.
You want to talk about that, and then we can kind of go from there?
Yeah, well, the pillars. Farmer Abe is just one of the pillars. It's good at its Tink. So Abraham Lincoln in the farm, and yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's these pillars, like I just said, we'll launch Viper on the 8th. Hopefully, launch all the rest the week later, and just see what happens. And then the wheel a couple of weeks after that. We could talk about the wheel another time.
So, there's going to be a nexus for each of the pillars?
That's right. Yeah, every pillar has a nexus. Buy and burn, this little wheel spinning like this, and then the vault wheel incorporates every single pillar, so into its buy and burn. So if you can imagine, imagine the Titanex comes in, it will buy Viper, it will buy Bull, it will buy Turbo, and then Viper will buy Wheel, Bull will buy Wheel, etc., and then Wheel would buy Vault. So it's doing the same thing as the Nexus, but in a way that combines every single one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what?
You guys,
what I'm
are you guys following this, or do you guys feel like the mad genius is talking, and you're just like, okay, yeah.
Hey, this might be a good, really. I don't know what you're talking about at all. So,
oh wow! I gotta
so to be quite honest, man, I've had my head so buried for like the last 2-3 months. So I think there's people in chat too that might not know. So maybe you could talk to me, and then I can take notes so I never forget.
Oh, super.
That's so awesome.
Okay, this is it. This is good then. So, Vault is a simple auction system which works in a perpetual way. That is limited supply, massive buy and burn, and hyper deflationary. So there's a distribution period of Vault in 10 days, and after that it's a cap supply, no more. And it goes hyper deflationary after that, basically hyper deflationary.
How?
By the buy and burn, because the buy and burn is constantly buying the Vault, burning half of it, and the other half going back into the perpetual auction. So it was a new innovation in auctions, which takes some of the value to auction back and burning. So it basically burns.
Well, I do see that everybody's trying to steal that idea now. I see that on Twitter, and everybody's mad. But that's a symptom of innovation. So good for you. So tell me about this auction system.
Yeah. So the auction. It's not. There's a lot more to that when someone takes your front end, but like, there's the auction system is every day after the 10-day
Mhm.
full distribution, every
Mhm.
day there's a certain amount of tokens available which have come from the buy and burn. So the buy and burn is decentralized, as in a certain percentage every day is 15% of the value is burnt, is by pressure, and half of that is burnt, and the other half goes into what's called the treasure vault, which is used for the perpetual auctions.
Okay.
So that's how the perpetual auctions work. But with Vault, it's simple to participate, but these are the mechanics under the hood, which you don't
Yep.
need to know to participate, but it's interesting mechanics because, like there's different ways to distribute tokens. You can have a ICO, you just have a mint. You
Sure.
can do a Titan X style mining. Okay. You can do a DBZen style auction.
Yep.
And this is another way to distribute tokens, a cap supply, but have perpetual auction.
So there's cap supply. There's a certain amount of supply that goes up for auction every period.
Yeah. So the first 10 days, the full supply is auctioned out. So that's the distribution period, and that's already taken. That's done. The distribution.
Yep.
That was done in the first 10 days. So
Okay.
So basically 1 billion tokens and 10% a day are just put up for auction. Okay, every day. Then on day 11, that's when, if the treasure vault didn't exist, there would be 0 more tokens available because everything has been distributed.
Why did we get to 1 billion? Any particular reason, or you just settled on that?
1 billion, it's a nice round number.
Okay. I was just curious.
It's a nice round number.
Because I like it.
Yeah. Just settled on 1 billion because it just feels like a nice amount. Yeah,
it's easy for your smart contracts, easier, I'd imagine. So the 11th day, what about the 11th day?
Yeah, right. So 11th day, if the treasure vault never existed, there'll be no more auction.
Okay.
So because the treasure vault exists, 20% is taken from the treasure vault, okay, and put up for auction that day. So how the proportion of Titan X comes in would be distributed to each vault token will be distributed proportionately to what comes in, and that's it. And then the next day, 20% is taken from the treasure vault again, and that keeps going. So the treasure vault goes down, the amount of tokens each day goes down. And
okay, and touch. I'm so sorry, man. Can you touch on the treasure vault one more time, because I'm missing that portion. Yep,
absolutely. And weeks and weeks before Vault was launched, I was talking about the treasure vault a lot. This is great because I've never talked about it for a while, but and people weren't getting it, and they started getting it after Vault was launched, and it's really good. I mean, it's great that to have someone new like you that hasn't looked into it.
Yeah.
So basically, the treasure vault fills up from the buy and burn. So half of the tokens that buy and burn buys goes right into that treasure vault. The other half basically is just burnt. So you're getting increasing hyperdeflation.
So let me connect this together. Oh, okay. Increasing hyperdeflation. Okay, got it. So 1 billion tokens, 10% are auctioned off per day. Out of that, out of the Titan X that's submitted to the auction, 50% goes to the buy and burn, and then 50% goes to the treasure vault. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, it's 40%, 42% burnt, 50% to the treasure vault, 8% liquidity. But yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool. And then so liquidity. So you have auto liquidity in this as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a growing liquidity. There's 8% goes into liquidity, and it's necessary to keep it growing.
Awesome.
And that started at $5,000. It was nothing, and how fast that grew to millions in a couple of days just shows you the power of that 8%. I think that's like a standard now moving forward.
Yeah. It's interesting too, though, because it's when liquidity is created like that, when at the beginning and price goes up, the whole value goes up. So it wasn't that much wasn't injected into it, but it increases based on the price increase. It's kind of interesting.
How much is left in the Treasury Vault at this point? And how many days has it been past the 10th day?
Yeah. So on day 11, there was 160,000 in this treasure vault. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then how it works is just 20% of that a day is put up for auction, and it's gradually going down. So I think yesterday there was 9 million available for auction. Today there's 8 million. So this will keep going down.
What's on screen? Because it says treasure vault balance is 36 million. Volts?
Yeah. So this is the amount that the treasure vault contract holds, and 20% of that is just automatically is allocated every day for the next day's auction.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So out of that 1 billion, you have 36 million left to auction out.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
And that could increase. Say the price increases, then people jump in with a bunch of tight necks. Then that could potentially grab up. Well, no, because
so that treasure vault balance does increase like constant on every buy and burn, because 50% of the buy and burn goes to fill it up. So
which is that's so smart, because you're creating it to where at a certain point it's going to be more, you're going to incentivize people to remine it versus going and market buying it.
Yeah, I mean there's two options to get it. Yeah, absolutely. It's just a way. It's just the whole thing is just an experiment. Let's see what happens.
Right now it's a 227% ROI. We're still, at the start of the day, but there are still positive ROIs happening on the auctions. Vibra, Brandon, you guys remember the Morpheus stream we did?
Yeah.
You see that little blue line right there?
What blue line are we looking at?
Right in the middle of the chart.
We're on
I don't see a chart.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not showing the right screen. Right there.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about it right then.
Yeah, that on stream was when someone said, Volt's not doing well. Huh. And they faded it on stream. And that...
Yeah, I remember that. So Steve, you're talking about pillars now. So I guess we can connect into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when I made Vault, there was a Vault Vision, which was interconnected protocols interacting together. So so I look at it like this: Vault is built on Titan X, and Vault, Titan X, the foundation. I look at Vault as the core, this like core, and out of the core you got these spokes coming out, and they're the pillars. They're the pillars. So you got Viper, Turbo built on Hyper, Bull on Inferno, and then these 10 pillars, and then around that the wheel, which is the last protocol, which brings everything together. So the pillars are Vault technology, as in everything we just said regarding distribution and auction, perpetual auction.
That's the Vault type.
With a different type of buy and burn called the Nexus buy wheel.
All right.
Called it. Yeah. So and the buy and burn is the new buy and burn is new innovation, just like the auction was new innovation. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how it flies. Just like it's interesting to see how Volt flies. And
so how does that rotate around?
Right. So what happens is Viper and all these pillars are the same, just with a different input token. So let's take Viper.
Mm-hmm.
Viper has a Nexus. This is the buy and burn. The Nexus buy wheel, because it's basically mostly buying. And so what it really does is when value enters the Nexus. So you can look at input, which is the full value of the buy and burn, and the Nexus here. And every day, 15% of the value of the buy and burn it's 15%. It's coded. It's decentralized. It can't be changed. It's 15% a day. We'll buy of Dragon X. We'll buy Volt, and that's going to happen every day. But once value enters the Nexus, 100% every day is buying the next token. So 100% of the previous day's buy of Volt is going to buy Viper, and 100% of that.
Can I back you up real quick?
Yeah.
So with the Nexus, 8% treasure vault. So we're going back up to the first layer, which is the treasury, and then so that's what drips down into this layer, correct?
That is correct. So
economic value.
Yeah, I was going to bring not to confuse you. I was going to say that afterwards, but yeah,
okay,
8%. So the only way value comes out is 8% to liquidity on Dragon X, 8% to the treasure vault, which is that thing that perpetual auction system in Vault, and then Viper, 40% it comes out, because Viper is equivalent to what Vault is. So you need a Viper's treasure, which is a treasure vault, a burn, like that.
So the Nexus is the name for the buy and burn that Viper is going to be using. It's a new advanced buy and burn. Some people in the chat have asked if it's a token, like I originally thought. It's not a token. It's the name for the new advanced innovative
tech
buy and burn.
Viper tech.
Yeah, the tech. We got another entrant. I have shamed enough people, and we got another one. So you guys ready? Hang on.
Yeah,
absolutely. When someone comes on stream, you gotta at least give them the bigger window.
Oh, Mark, okay, good to see you, man.
What's going on?
It's always great to see you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear me?
I'm clear.
Yeah. Has your mind blown yet? Is you put it back together?
No, I sleep this shit, man. I love it. I harass Steve all day, every day, man. It's so good, bro. So you guys I see that you guys are talking about the pillars and the way it works. Brandon, I see that you're asking pretty good questions on it. Off stream, Brandon, you already know we always talk offline. So if you do want to know or understand it more, let me know. I'll explain to you, break it down easier, and we'll take our time to understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take the Kool-Aid out of Steve.
Yeah, I'll come on your show anytime you want, and we can talk all the basics. And if you're interested or talk about crypto or anything, just anytime.
Yeah, it's very so what Steve built is pretty cool. So Vault itself is its own protocol, right? And then what he wanted it to do, basically, long story short, is basically build Vault versions on top of the main cores across the economic all over TitanX, so on Inferno, all the core coins. There you go, right? So on the right, those are all the core coins, right? The heavy lifters, the doers of the community, right? And then on the left is basically Vault clones with a little bit of twist of their own versions of inputs plus the buy and burns across the guys on the right. So that's basically what it is, And then when he talks about like the wheel and all the other stuff, that's just add-ons that helps move economic energy from one protocol to another protocol while burning them, while taking a portion of those fees or whatever it is and filling up the Nexus, if you want to consider it, the treasury of each individual pillars behind the scenes, just continuing to move the funds around while burning everything along the way, in some sense, if you want to put it in that way.
Good. How so? Okay, so each one of these. So Viper it's Viper Tech connected to Dragon. Turbo is connected to Hyper, Bolt, etc. Right? That's how that works.
Then they're like so. They're indirectly they'll be connected by liquidity. So Viper will be connected to all the pillars, but only the wheel is going to circulate. Circulate them. So after the pillars are built, the Vault wheel comes, which is going to be buying Viper, which is going to be buying Turbo, which is going to be buying every single pillar.
Yeah.
And then
where's the economic energy that's using to buy these as it spins?
Right. So all the pillars are the Titan X altcoins, Viper, Dragon X, Turbo Hyper. The wheel input is Titan X. So Titan X would buy Viper, Viper by the wheel by Vault. That's what will happen.
And that money came from the original launch with Vault?
No, it's going to be
the Titan X.
Each individual protocol, so Dragon X economic energy will help Viper's economic energy because they will interact with each other. Same thing with Hyper with Turbo, Inferno with Bull, and basically Wheel will take a portion of those things of the economic energy of between the exchange of both protocols, and then move that over to buy the next one, in a simple sense. It's more.
Is it fees? Is it liquidity fees? Is that what we're talking about? Like, where's that dollar come from to buy it?
That's from the perpetual auction system.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that perpetual auction system, is that coming from Vault?
Right.
No,
so
is Viper
one should have it.
Yeah. Every single pillar is that own perpetual auction system within a Titan X altcoin.
Yeah. So think about when you look at Viper, Turbo, Bull, all that. Think about literally just in your head, those are all Vipers. I mean, those are all Vaults with a little bit twists to them, dealing with those indirect pairs. So it's Vault is basically Viper built on Dragon X with a little bit twist to it. Dragon X has no control of Viper, so there's no like Eric could do anything to that contract or anything like that. It's just it's just pairing with LP, right? And then it does whatever it does between those two pairs, just like Volt does with Titan X. And then I guess a portion of whatever those economic energy between those two gets filled into the wheel itself behind the scenes. The wheel is like so other treasury behind the scenes that's collecting and moving things around.
Okay, cool. So that's helpful. I'm getting caught up because I thought somebody said that these were not tokens. Are they tokens or are they not tokens?
That was the Nexus, because if someone was confused thinking that the Nexus was a protocol in and of itself, the Nexus is the name for the new buy and burn that each.
Okay, so now it connects. Yes. Each one of these, that's how that economic energy comes in to be able to interact directly with those pairs. Okay, that makes sense.
Morpheus is out, right? And I decide to make M-Pillar on top of it, right? It's a Volt version built on Morpheus, and basically it just interacts with Morpheus. The input token will be Morpheus, and everything continues to Viper. Volt is with Volt tokenomics with a little bit of a twist to it, if you want to understand it that way.
Yeah. That was my only thing. I was caught up because Mo, I misunderstood you there, so that's good.
No,
that makes complete sense now.
Awesome, but it's a lot, but it's awesome, it's
So I've got it in my head now. I think it makes complete sense. But what about the all right, so what about the wheel part? Tell me about that again, Steve.
Yeah, so just as we looked at one of the pillars, we looked at Viper, and we looked at the buy and burn. That was a three-way buy and burn. The wheel.
Can we go back to that?
Yeah. Oh, you want to go back to Nexus?
No, go back to the three-way illustration.
Oh, yeah.
In the chart to help them out.
Right. So this is how the buy and burn works in every pillar. Okay. And it's every day 100% of Volt is buying Viper, a little bit leaving here. 100% then of what's left is going to buy Dragon X, a little bit leaving there, and 100% buying Volt, a little bit leaving there. And this just continues, gradually growing, but value is circulating. It's circulating through buy and burns. And so when the pillar is erected, the 10 pillars are up, the wheel is launched. It's another coin, another protocol with a coin called wheel. Just wheel. Yeah. And value comes into the wheel through Titan X.
Okay.
And so the buy and burn, I've called it the apex buy wheel because it's different than the Nexus buy wheel. So the buy wheel on the Vault wheel itself functions a little bit differently. Titan X comes in, which buys Vault. Okay. The Vault is split 11 ways to the 10 pillars and wheel, and the Vault will buy Viper, and the Viper buys wheel. The Vault buys Bull, which is built on Inferno. The Bull buys wheel. The Vault buys Turbo, built on Hyper, and the Turbo buys wheel. So it has a buy like that, and it ends up in wheel. And so the Titan X went to Vault. The Vault was split through all the pillars, which all ended up buying wheel. And then the last thing is wheel then buys Vault, and it keeps going like that.
So it's circular. Okay, so it's like, so you've got Ethereum, and then you've got an L1 on Ethereum, which is Titan X. Then you have an L1 on Titan X, which is this, and then you have everything else underneath. That's kind of what's happening here.
So what's beautiful, what it's really doing, it's almost, instead of taking just the Titan X and using it and wasting it on just one buy and burn, right? It's almost like still carry on that economic energy to trigger everything. So while everything gets triggered, everything gets burned along the way, instead of wasting it and just leaving it there. And along the way, while it's doing all this, it's still collecting some type of economic energy inside the wheel that goes around and just redistributes everything all over again. Just doing
just drops it. Yeah, drops it in. The wheel is that. So that's going to be a protocol that's launched. It's not launched yet, correct?
Absolutely. The only thing that's launched is Vault. Viper launched the 8th, the first pillar. The rest of the pillars the following week, and then a couple of weeks later, wheel. So basically, in November, they're all released.
Is it going to use the same distribution model as the auction distribution model for wheel?
Exactly.
Okay.
So wheel will be 10-day distribution. All the pillars, just like Vault, and all the pillars will be just 8-day distribution.
Oh, a 2-day reduction.
So Steve,
8-day, yeah.
Nice, 2 days reduction. Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you a pretty visual guy when you're imagining these things? Yeah,
absolutely.
Me too. Me too.
Brandon,
do you have something that kind of spreads all that out? What'd you say, Marco?
Sorry,
you know what? I have created masses amount of infographics. I'll release them all in the next few days.
Microsoft Paint type of flow chart. It was amazing. Amazing.
That's me.
I would love to get my hands on some of that, man. That's because I've got this master folder with all these projects, and I'll drop it in there so I can understand it better.
Oh man, check out Roam Research. It's a tool online which is the best thing for written research. So you can write a topic on health and interlink your database with everything. So
is this a custom database?
It is amazing. It's
nice.
It's custom, and it's like a note-taking app, but each word can become a header, and everything you wrote on that word is then displayed on the page. So it's like a web of knowledge. It's one of the most remarkable things that I've ever. It was a life-changing thing for me. It's called Roam Research.
ROAM, right?
ROAM. ROAM.
It's like
yeah, I found
you're buying brain space.
Man, I did a course that you guys probably would all love. It's called especially cryptographics. It's called Building a Second Brain. Okay, Building a Second Brain, and the whole course is a fantastic course, and it's a lifestyle. is you're building a second brain on organization of your notes, and the result is increased productivity, able to find stuff, focus. It's called building a second brain, and from that's one of the tools that they had, and it was
dude. What a freaking! I'm reading the white paper right now, man. This is already amazing. But what scares me is when the SEC comes knocking and they subpoena my my RomeResearch.com database. I'm like, no. That's the problem.
That's so funny. Hey, quick question, Steve. So I'm not sure. I'm just gonna ask about this particular protocol at the moment. Did you go over any details with gold recently, anything like that, or the pillar of gold?
Gold. Is
Yes.
that gold?
Yeah. Did you go over any details regarding that one, or?
Yeah, that is the same as
Everything
Viper.
else. Okay.
Same as Viper, but it's using it's using element 280. Yeah.
So a little alpha out there, right? Now a lot of people will say you're just stupid for sharing this. Why would you do that? Because at the end of the day, the more people that knows it, the more people will make the NFT, and then down the road it goes into my hands because I will be the last man standing, right? So the way I see it is like this, guys. Don't be stupid. Not financial advice, right? If you want to play with gold for free, okay, make a bunch of NFTs, chill, relax, let the market do its thing. Every 7 days, when you earn that element, take that element and go play with go play with gold every single time. And that's free gold you could play with and do whatever you want. Not only are you going to help Element 280 by not dumping it and actually using it for a better cause, you're going to help gold, and down the road, that's going to help vaults anyways. So it's like a circle, you know? So that's free alpha right there. You know, that's free money. And yeah, that's what I would do if I was you. If people don't understand how, do everybody know how Element 280 works at all? Like, do you guys understand it on the panel?
Yeah, I'm into that
For the most part.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, of course, you know, do what you want to do with the Element token, but that's one way. Without having to sacrifice or sell your other bags, you could use that towards the gold pillar, and you're not hurting Element, and you know, you're supporting your rest of your bags by doing it that way too. That's just one trick you could do. You know, if somebody's providing, for example, somebody's providing LP between DragonX and Hydra, the tink you earn between those pairs, because if you do those pairs, you really don't care which one you end up with, right? Technically, you can take that tink right there and you can play with Viper. You know, that's another way without selling your bags to play with these type of things, you know? So I just want people to understand that you don't have to dump one whole bag just to chase something else. You can make your bags work for you and get free money, right? Or free tokens or whatever it is to go play with other things too. And by doing that, you're helping the economic energy of everything. So it's just little things people should know.
I think the whole pillars are going to be unreal for anyone that wants to play with LP.
Oh yeah.
If you want to play with LP, man, oh, this is the time to get it figured out, get prepared, and get ready. Because between the Nexus, the pillars, and whatever else might come afterwards, like, I mean, this is a gold. This is literally a gold mine just waiting to happen. So,
and there's a little trick to all of this. If ORX or Ouroboros does this right, there's a cool little money glitch you could kind of figure out if Ouroboros comes out and does it the right way. It's a really cool glitch you could do. I'm not saying hack or anything like that, but I'm talking about, like, you know, just you figure out how to use protocol with protocol, do it. You know, that's pretty cool tricks you could do. So this is really exciting. Like, the pillar's coming on time, Ouroboros is coming on time, like everything's coming in just on time. You know, there's some cool stuff you could do, man. I'm beyond excited. And hyperinflationary is right there. It's like on the door. Perfect timing.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey.
What's going on with Morpheus? You guys gonna launch that pretty soon?
I don't know what you're talking about. I got no clue. Who knows, man? You have to check the Telegram, dude. I don't know. I mean, I don't run the show here.
Now. Anytime, I feel like.
Dude, imagine if you took a 1983 station wagon Datsun and you attached a flux capacitor to it. That's what you guys are going to see with Morpheus in the coming months. That's what I'm telling you is going to happen. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm excited to be a part of this. You guys have been taking a lot of the arrows here for the past year or so. And I'm very humble coming into this situation. I love learning, Steve. I love asking questions. Thank you for answering everything there. And Cryptographics and everybody on here. Marco's been great. Mo is what he is. You know, we can't hold that against him. But we'll keep going here. Yeah, I'm excited, guys. I just want to build cool stuff. I want to bring fun back into decentralized finance. I'm coming from a community that's kind of against that for builders and things like that. And there's so much that can be done when you unleash human creativity on a problem. Amen. Or you unleash human creativity and people are supporting those efforts. Amen. So it's important to police things, right? We got to police each other and make sure we kind of like self-police and keep each other on the right track and make sure things are safe. But dude, like, you know, what is it with what's the movie Interstellar? When are they on Jupiter? And it's like, you know, the gravity and all that, relativity, blah, blah, blah. So it's like that. It's like 1 year in crypto is like 8 or 9 or 10 years of tech innovation in the real world. So if you're stagnant and you're in a community that doesn't want to build, you can lose out on massive amounts of innovation while the rest of the world leaves you behind. That's kind of how I see this.
In a few months.
I don't know about you. Yeah.
Just in a few months. That's all it takes.
A few months, correct. It's because everybody's just like, you know, heads down, pissed off at the world, this and that, and everybody else is just driving by him. Like, what's wrong with that guy? He's on the side of the road with his head down all the time looking for cigarettes to pick up, used cigarettes. And he doesn't have his head up and he's not looking at the world or the birds or talking to people. That's what happens.
Yeah, if you look at TinyX a year ago to now, right? And we're about to hit a year. Everybody that talks about TinyX now, they only still think it's just one token. They have no idea there's 15 plus protocols or any of this stuff that's happening, right? Why? Because they were the guys that, pick up cigarettes on the ground. They refused to look up. And look what happened.
Down. Yeah.
Innovation.
When you can't see, man, you lose so much information. You lose so many ideas. So I saw a guy yesterday and I really wanted to chime in and I think I'm going to be more vocal about this. But I brought up the Volt thing, Steve, because somebody said so-and-so team is stealing this idea. And I'm like, guys, like, this is a slippery slope. Now, I understand that there's right ways to do things and wrong ways to do things. And I don't know, like, what happened with that team that's using Volt in some way or manner. But ultimately, we got to learn from the people prior, and we got to kind of move things forward. And it's also permissionless and you're allowed to do that. But ultimately, if it serves that purpose, which is the focus to get TinyX off the market, I think it's a pretty good thing. And there is some just common courtesy there too. So hopefully that common courtesy was extended to you. I don't know if it was, Steve. We gotta be careful with the community. Don't let it slip into, like, Marco, we can't let things slip into what we've seen things slip into.
Exactly. And that's what I loved about, when that situation happened right away, all three gentlemen and, whatever the team happened, they got together, got on the phone call, figured it out, said their piece to each other, and everybody moves on and everybody's ready to build again. That's important, just progress,
Yep.
right? Like no roadblocks, progress, as long as both sides understand and figure it out and the community is cool with that, progress, keep on going. Let's not stop. But yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm
And
happy and everybody else was.
dude, it's great. Good men need to say something. If they see something going wrong, that's the biggest lesson I've learned in the past 4 or 5 years. And that spans time, right? It's not just crypto. But if you see something, speak up and people will back you. But if you wait too long and this metastasizes, you can't get control of it and things get weird quick. So the people on this stream, and I'm just saying this everywhere, speak up if you see something going crooked. Call it out and get it solved. Conflict delayed is conflict multiplied.
Good, wise words. Wise words.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's good, like seeing everybody build and everybody get together and figure this out, and progress is happening. That's the most important thing. Progress is happening. Everybody's understanding new technologies coming out. We're all evolving on the new technology that these gentlemen are making and stuff like that. So pretty cool. It's exciting to see, man. It's good. It's a good issue to have. Then nobody's building anything and nobody talks about anything, right?
Correct.
I'd rather argue about that than not us argue about there's nothing happening. So,
and what better way to say, holy shit, you built something dope than to have someone literally take what you've built and
yeah, right.
Like, hey. I mean, in one aspect, it's like what you built is so good. Someone else wants to literally use it.
Yeah.
As is perfectly. So, there's both sides to that for sure.
That line though, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the full line is? And I think it's perfect though. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. Mm-hmm. Fucking amazing. I love that.
Damn. Mic drop.
I know. I heard the first part my entire life. I've never heard the second part till the other day. I thought about it and I looked it up and I was like, damn, that's a really good line.
That is. I haven't heard the full lineup for it, actually. That's way better than the half the line.
Right?
Who takes credit? Who takes credit for that? Who said that?
Marco.
Let's find out.
Oscar Wilde. Marco.
Who? Oscar Wilde?
I just take
Oscar Wilde.
Credit.
Sounds like a Plato or a Socrates type of quote.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Yeah, it probably was, and he ripped it off. I'm going to get sued for defamation from the Oscar Wilde family. Just kidding. It was a joke. All right, guys, we're at an hour and 10 minutes. I'm kind of in the middle of fixing lunch here. I almost finished it, but I got to kind of get going there. Let's kind of segue on our way out of here. Let's go around the horn, talk about what we're most excited about in the next, by the end of the year. And do me a favor, don't say your own protocol. Steve, what are you most excited about besides your own protocol?
Oh, man, I could tell you.
I know you're super excited about it.
Easy. I'm most excited about what Marco the Energized changes the hexagon word to. Now it's hexagon. What's it going to be by the end of the year?
It's so funny. So funny.
Cryptographics. What are you excited about in this system, in life in general?
Oh, in life in general? I mean, we're heading to uncharted territories, like in so many aspects. What is coming has never been seen or done before, and I think the amount of opportunity and potential is just beyond measure. That I couldn't be more excited to see where these next number of months goes. And there's stuff that I've heard being talked about that has not even been revealed yet. And when that comes out, all these different protocols fall on top of Titan. We're going to be in a place we never expected, I think. So I'm just so excited.
There's a lot.
Dude, there's so much. It's crazy.
There's some that I heard that it started to blow my mind. I'm like, wait, what? Somebody's trying to make that? I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Guys, it's just us. No one else is listening. Tell us what you're talking about. Come on.
I can't, man.
That joke's never going to get old for me. I'll use it every stream.
One day it might work. Hey, one day it might work. Just keep trying.
Well, you never know. I mean, if I get Bad Sports on when he's done 6 streams, I could probably convince him that it's just us.
Slightly delirious probably works best. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. Marco, what are you excited about, brother?
So to be honest, I'm excited to meet new free thinkers, right? So going the rest of the year, that's gonna be my quote, and that's gonna be my theme, the theme of free thinkers, right? People who's not afraid to speak their mind, speak to others, deal with other protocols, touch things, play with things. People that just they like to play with the curiosity. They just want to learn and be somebody that wants to learn. So I'm excited for all the protocols coming out, seeing how TitanX ends up being with all the inflation fully out, right? Seeing X28 come, how that looks, right? Like the next level of TitanX when that comes out, right? Just all the protocols in general. Now outside the ecosystem, still got to show love to my Pulse Chain people. I'm excited to see the next few months going forward, how things happen and how things end up being and stuff like that. So it's a great time to be alive. It's a good time to be in crypto. And most of all, I hope after the election, I can say we got America back. America's back. That's the main thing I care about, So let's see what happens, man. But this year is going to be great. I think we're going to end with a bang. And 2025 is going to be one hell of a year, man. All these protocols raging and pumping. And you know, if everything good, God blesses us, you know, everything will be cool. So I can't wait for that.
Brandon, I'm not touching that comment, sir. Why don't you tell me what you're excited about?
Hey, you know what? I'm excited. I'm excited about taking risks. I'm excited to see other people take risks and have those risks pay off in big ways for them. That's what's exciting. It's hard to do, but it's good. Super excited about the election, just like Marco. You guys know I dive deep into that stuff, and I'm sucked in, guys. I'm a degen. It is what it is. And then you know what? I'm really actually excited for Christmas with my little kiddo. She's 18 months. So I can start to communicate with her, so I don't just look like some giant ogre walking around making weird noises to her. She understands me now, and Christmas is going to be cool. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Cherish those kids, bro. They grow really fast. They really, really do.
Oh, no.
Really do.
I know.
Vibra, give it to me.
So just looking at how all the greatness that has been developed right now in this whole ecosystem, all the projects that are coming, we need to make sure we transition this into the right stuff and we do the right things with the money that we're going to see. So Vibraville, living healthy, having people near you, living near people that you trust. I think that's the future. And everyone has kids. You want a future that's better than what we had.
Amen.
We need to build that for ourselves. No one's just going to go out here and give it to you. And I think we can build our own communities to where it doesn't even matter. Just like in Titan X, we don't care what's going on around crypto. The same thing in real life, where we have our own communities, our own food supply chains, everything we need to not rely on the mainstream, all the nonsense. We can kind of just tune out and just crush in our own way. So I'm excited to get people together and start building stuff in real life and trying to make the transition. Yeah, facing reality knows what's up.
Love that, man.
Perfect.
That's dope.
Perfect. I have nothing to add to any of that. I love everyone. Hope you all have a great week. Steve, last words. This is your stream, buddy. Send us out.
No, what? Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you, Brandon, coming in. It's awesome to meet you and appreciate those questions from someone that didn't know anything about it. It's really good because it makes you realize that sometimes you can speak quite complex, you know.
Well, I knew it from the periphery, but a lot of times people are afraid to ask and really understand. So I was glad that you took the time. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. And Vibra, cryptographics and Exigan, man, what a great, amazing to have such an amazing. It's like we're transported to the conference in a few days, having such awesome people all together. So, hey, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Pat.
Perfect segue. Guys, we got the Titan X conference in 4 days. Stick around for the video. Love you all. Peace.
Peace.